Yo, what's up? Today I'm going to be answering a question. I got a comment on one of my videos about what is your struggle, and you can check out that video here. But someone commented here, and I believe him. Okay, so some of you are going to say,
Oh, I don't know about this.
and sometimes, I think, it's sometimes interesting to listen to people rationalize and justify things by asking questions. So, here is the comment. It is from Shiru, and he says, "Here's something I've been struggling with for a couple years now. Never realized that it was until then. I'm 23, by the way. So I know how sometimes people are afraid of failure and such, and my issue is exactly the opposite. I am not afraid of failing at something. I know that I can learn from experience and move on. What I'm afraid of is actually succeeding at something, maybe asking the girl out. What if she actually says yes, kind of thing, or in terms of career/school, what if I do get that job, promotion, be successful, or even graduate from uni, etc. I know it sounds weird. I hope I can get an answer. It would help me a lot. Cheers." So again, now you can probably see why I kind of caveated this, because I think some people would read this comment and they might say,
He's fucking full of bullshit. No, he's not afraid of success. He's just kind of like using this as an excuse to hold back.
honestly, I think this is a real problem. And this was something that I may have sort of flipped on, because in the past I've kind of thought about this, and maybe you've heard people say this before, is like that people are afraid of success. And that's what's holding you back. And in the past, I kind of thought that this was maybe kind of a bullshit thing. Like, why would you fear success? Maybe this is something that people bullshit in order to like just be lazy and not get things done. But honestly, having coached a lot of people now, and a lot of guys on some of these things, I can understand some of these perspectives. And even from my own perspective, when I thought back about this, especially when I saw this comment, I really gave it some thought. And yes, fearing success is definitely possible. So let's talk about, first of all, why we fear success. I think this is like, when you understand this, it can help you to get over it and to embrace it and to let yourself be successful. So I think one of the biggest things that I would say for a reason why we fear success is because we fear what the next step is, and it makes us uncomfortable. I can take it right back to this guy's example here, where he says, the very first thing he said, I think he said, what I'm afraid of is actually succeeding at something, maybe asking the girl out, right? So let's take this instance, right, for a lot of you guys as well, because that's one of the reasons why I picked this comment. Let's say that you actually go up and talk to a girl, right, and you ask her out, and she says yes. Well, now you're going to feel really fucking uncomfortable, because what are you going to do? Now you have all this pressure. Now you're going to have to go on a date. Now you're going to have to try to appear normal. Now you're going to have to figure out what to do next, and how to talk, and how to act, and are you going to ask her to go to your apartment, and then how's that going to go, and then what are you going to do there, and maybe you're inexperienced there in that department, and then how's that going to be, and that's going to feel awkward, and that's going to be scary, right? So basically you're fearing that success, so you just don't do it at all. Right? Because you're afraid what's going to happen next. The same thing we could say when you get a job, right? Let's say that you go and you apply for this job that's above you, right? And you go to the interview, and you're successful at the interview, and you do a good job. Or let's say you even just get the interview, and now you're like, fuck, if I get the interview, if I apply for this job, then I'll have to go in there, and I'll have to talk to people, and I'll have to like answer these questions, and that's scary, and that's stressful, and what if I look like an idiot, okay? And what if I can't succeed? And what if I get the job, and then when I get the job, they find out that I'm a fraud, and I'm not really good at that, and now I gotta like go and meet all these new people, and that's scary. There's a lot of reasons why we might fear that success, or even I remember just in my own past, I can definitely relate to the girl thing, but I could also relate to basically like even with simple programming, even with my businesses, even with YouTube. Like, what if I'm successful? What if I release videos, and what if I have all these subscribers, and now I have to create content? I mean, even today, it's like, am I creating good content? I'm questioning myself at the very beginning of this video, like when I went into a little bit of a explanation of what I'm going to talk about. Maybe that sounded kind of stupid. Now all these people are going to think that I'm an idiot. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, you can fear success for sure. Why are you fearing success? The thing is, like, you just got to do it anyway, right? You just got to do it anyway, because you have to realize that yes, you're going to be uncomfortable, but the only way that you're ever going to get comfortable is after you've been uncomfortable. You have to go through that experience. There was a video I did on this guy that was like asking me like, basically how to have sex. I think that's the name of the video. And in that video, he seriously had a question. It's like, this girl is coming over for the first time. I'm nervous. I don't know what to do. Like, it's like, and basically I told him, you're gonna fumble and you're gonna fuck up, but it's okay, because you're not gonna have probably the greatest time, but you're gonna get through that experience and that discomfort, and that's gonna gain you actual experience, which is going to make it so that the next time that happens, the next time you have success, you're going to be able to be more smooth through that and able to maybe enjoy the experience and build that. And I'm not just talking about dating and girls and stuff. I'm talking about just in life, okay? Because anytime that you do something challenging or you succeed at something in life, you're going to have the next step. And the next step is always scary because it's unknown. Okay, and it's gonna move you out of your comfort zone, but you got to do that so that you can get that reference experience, so that you can now do the next thing. I got called up by a casting producer to basically, they were interested in having me host a television show, right? And I was like, part of me was like super excited, like, wow, this is awesome. But part of me was also like, almost felt like I wanted to not call them back. Like, I wanted to like basically just like not follow up on this shit, because I was afraid, what if I get this? Well, or what if I'm successful, or what if I have to like go to the next steps in this process, and that's going to be so stressful, and it's going to be so, difficult for me to get through that, and then what if I fail halfway through? And I think that's what it comes down to. The fear of success comes from the fear of later failure, because we fear success because we know that will lead to a next step, which will take us to a point where we could then fail. And what we have to realize is that that's going to happen. We are going to, like, you're going to keep on hitting your successes until you hit the point of failure. And you're just going to charge down and see how far you can get down that path. You can't be afraid to go down the path, because you don't know, the pressure is going to mount and mount every time, and you know that you're going to eventually fail. You can't think that way. You have to think instead that, like, every time I go down this path, I'm going to get better at it. I'm going to become more successful. And yes, I'll eventually fail, right? Because I'm going to keep on winning until I stop winning. The more that I do that, the further down that path I'll be able to get, the more comfortable I'll be going down that path. Fear of failure, definitely a legit thing, but you can't let it stop you. You always got to think in terms of reference experience. You always got to think in terms of, yes, I'm going to succeed, and then I'm going to have to figure out what's going to happen next. And it's going to be crazy maybe sometimes, and that's just how life is. But if you keep on fearing success, then you're never going to get those experiences, and you're never going to see what's on the other side of the wall. What's the next thing, what's around this corner. That's always going to be scary when you don't know, but you got to find out. So, all right, that's all I got for you today. If you haven't already, click the subscribe button below, click the bell so you get the notifications on the videos so you don't miss any of them. I'll talk to you next time. Take care.